Welcome back to the Daily Nugget, daily property insights, one topic, 20 minutes or less, 7 days a week. Myself, Lawrence Lotze, and today joined by Andrew Armstrong, a mortgage specialist and a fellow property investor. And AJ, the question for you today is, buying your next home is something a lot of people come around. So I own an existing house and I'm looking to buy my next home, whether it's my dream home or it's just the next step. And there is always that question back of people's minds of, what do I do with the existing home? Do I have to sell it for the next home? Do I hold it? What is sort of the options out there at the moment?
Yeah, okay. Definitely a sort of very relevant subject being the sort of middle of lockdown where people are sitting at home and they can't go anywhere. They go, man, this house is way too small. I don't recall my children being this annoying or this this big or, this noisy. But then it's like, well, what do I do with my existing house? Do I need to sell it to go and buy a new one? What are my options? And typically we sit down and have these conversations with people on a regular basis and go, hey, well, actually, are you aware that you've got a lot of equity in your existing house that will help you buy a new house? And then the current house would become an investment property. So again, we run the numbers, see what it looks like, see what they're wanting to buy, where they're wanting to buy it, when, etc. And then running some numbers on, well, what will the existing house return rent-wise, and does that make sense? Yep. And I mentioned a few episodes ago that, we work with professional advisors, so we'd go, hey, go and have a chat to your accountant. Does this stack up? Have you checked all the rules and regs and the tax, etc. with them to make sure it's a sound judgment? And then go down the path of, let's use that house to leverage into your next home. Further to that, we go, hey, is your existing banking relationship doing what you need it to do in terms of this? Are they going to go, hey, you've been in this house for 10 years, 20 years. We're not going to extend your existing loan term, which may limit your ability to borrow. So it's really just being able to work with people and pull the levers and say, hey, if you do this with bank A to bank A plus one, then bank B, we'll be able to assist as well. So we just run over all scenarios to make sure it all sort of fits the mold.
Yeah. This happened with me personally. Myself, my very early introduction with AJ, we sat down and we needed funding for property, and went to Bank A that I'd been with for many years and said, hey, Bank A, I want to add plus one onto my existing situation. Here is everything. And the bank said to me, no. So AJ turned around and said, well, why don't we go to Bank B here and see what they said? And Bank B were more than happy to say, hey, why don't you come over and bring your business and bring everything else over, and we want to keep you happy. And it was funny because as soon as we went over to Bank B, then Bank A went, oh, hold on. Why are you going? Where are you going? And then it ended up happening that Bank A were like, okay, you can come back and we'll give you more and we'll do all of this. So it's firstly, when you look in the next home, it's obviously having that first question of, can I keep my existing house as a rental and go into the next session? So that's a straight numbers calculation where the likes of AJ can help you out. Once you get to that, then it's having the question with the bank. The bank might not have that appetite with you at the moment. It doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can shift. And again, people, we spoke about it when we spoke about the broker section, is banks, you don't have to be loyal to banks. Sometimes you might get a benefit, but it's business to them. So going from one bank to the other bank, there's no harm in that. And there's still a lot of old school mentality. I see a lot of people out there like, oh, I've been with my bank for 15 years. I don't want to leave. Or they're really loyal to me. No, they're not. Don't tell me they're loyal because you get extra benefits and so forth. They give the same stuff to everyone else, and it's all smokes and mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to do which makes sense financially for you, and your bank has to support that as well. Like, it's your livelihood, it's your money, it's your biggest asset. Everyone has to align with your goals, and if that means that they have to let you go, it's just what it means.
Yeah, totally. So fundamentally, if you think about buying your next home, there's one path or two paths to go down. It's finding out if you can keep your existing home with a calculation like where AJ can help you out, or if that's not in your appetite, it's obviously then just selling and then taking that money and going into your next home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome. Thanks so much, AJ. And to anyone else that's always got a question for myself or for Andrew, you'll find the details in the app or wherever you're watching in the description. And thanks again for coming over to the Daily Nugget, Daily Property Insights, one topic, 20 minutes or less, 7 days a week. And as always, I hope